From the air, football pitches look so peaceful. Places where people gather to run, kick, sweat, laugh and drink, shout and fight. Every week somewhere, punches are thrown between fans and players of opposing teams. Big dreams are shared and fought over on these pitches. But on the 29th of May 1985, those dreams turned into a deadly nightmare. And this stadium in Belgium, since rebuilt, became a battlefield. Three-quarters of an hour before the European Cup final between Liverpool and Juventus, broadcast live all over Europe, 38 fans were trampled to death in a corner of the terraces called Block Z. A 39th victim died in hospital 3 months later. The majority of the people who died were Italian. 2 were French, 4 Belgian, 1 came from Northern Ireland. But the fact that close to 40 fans had lost their lives was not enough to stop the match going ahead. Within little more than 2 hours of the deaths, the 1985 European Cup final was played regardless. Tonight, we return to Heysel, where choices were made that still haunt people 20 years on. Mrs. Martelli lost her son Franco at Heysel. For 20 years she's been visiting his grave every day. Franco and his mother both loved football, and so she's tried to keep that love alive.
We don't go to watch football matches anymore, mostly because at my age I couldn't cope with being in the middle of all those people in the stadium. When I watch the game on TV, I'm always nervous. Then when I see them score, I cheer. I'm all happy. It's as if I were Franco. He's always with me. Who knows what he'd do now when Juventus scores. When they lose, I'm sad.
3 years after the tragedy, there was a trial to establish who was responsible for the deaths of 39 people. In the end, a Belgian gendarmerie officer and 2 of the organisers were convicted, but the main culprits, it was decided, were 14 Englishmen. Terry Wilson, now a swimming pool lifeguard, received one of the heaviest sentences, 5 years in prison for manslaughter.
I was working in the fruit market at the time, so I was starting work at 2 o'clock in the morning, and about 7 o'clock, policemen came in. I was on my forklift, and policemen came in and approached me and were like, are you Terry Wilson? I was like, yeah. And he came up to me and said, we're arresting you for the manslaughter of Mario Ronchi and 38 others. And to be honest, I just laughed at them. I was like, oh, don't be stupid. Manslaughter. All I did was run over, throw a few fists, help our fans out, and manslaughter.
Today, Terry Wilson is a born-again Christian. He's made it his mission to stop others making the mistakes he made.
Name's Terry. Nice one. Thanks very much for coming. You all look lovely. What I'm going to do first, okay, is just tell you a little story out of the Bible. And what I'm going to do is bring my life into it.
Terry served 9 months of his 5-year sentence for manslaughter. 20 years on, he feels he's found his forgiveness.
Jesus went to the Mount of Olives. The teachers of the law and the Pharisees brought in a woman caught in adultery. In the law, Moses commands us to stone such women. Jesus bent down and started to write on the ground with his finger. If any of you is without sin, let him be the first to throw a stone at her.
In total, 39 people died at the Heysel. Among them were 2 postmen, 2 cooks, 3 doctors, 4 students, 1 car mechanic, a soldier, a schoolboy, a school janitor, a farmer, a taxi driver, several shopkeepers, a fashion photographer, and a builder, Domenico, the cousin of these 2 builders in Milan. Armando and Danilo Ragazzi were in their early 20s when they went to Heysel. They loved Juventus, as did their cousin Domenico.
From the moment I was born and learned that a football was black and white, I've been black and white.
Black and white are the colours of Juventus, which has supporters all over Italy. Armando Ragazzi's son Gianpaolo dreams of becoming the next Juventus goalkeeper. In '85, Stefano Tacconi was the Juventus goalkeeper. The evening badly scarred him, but he too once had big dreams about football.
I spent my childhood with friends running around in a field. And even then I was passionate about football because my older brothers played. And of course, whatever they did, I had to do.
My son's even worse than me. He even cries. I've never cried. He cries whenever they lose.
Once Juventus reached the final, our minds were made up. There was no question about it. We had to go. That was that.
There might have been 20 of us. Everyone was saying, I'm going to go. In the end, to be safe, I bought 4 tickets.
Everyone said, I want to go, I want to go.
I came back to the village and the only people I could find to come were Armando and Danilo. I couldn't find anyone to take the 4th ticket.
We went to the bar and along came my cousin, Domenico.
20 years after the tragedy, the 3 builders have agreed to return to Brussels. Taking Domenico's place is Armando's goalkeeping son, Gianpaolo.
It was a fantastic journey, even though we got hopelessly lost in the middle of Germany. We had no idea how to order boiled eggs. We ended up drawing a chicken on the table.
From all over Europe, fans travelled to Brussels to see Juventus and Liverpool play for the 1985 European Cup. 60,000 people, 60,000 individual stories.